All right, so in this tutorial, basically, I'm just going to show you how to make kind of like a basic, simple animated banner. First thing first, we're going to make an HTML5 canvas because this is for web design. So I'm just going to click on HTML5 canvas. First thing I want to do after that is basically just set up the size. What you want to do is look at your website. You should have like how many columns it is. If you made your Photoshop wireframe, you can look at it there. But find out what the numbers are. Okay, so I'm going to pretend like this goes the full 960. So I'm going to do 960 for the width since we're doing fixed width for this. And then I'm imagining that it's, we'll say 200 pixels tall. Okay, so it's kind of a wide or a tall banner. Okay, I'm just going to picture that that's my banner. Now, we got that in there. The next thing I need to do is bring in my elements. So I can draw my elements in here, which is fine. Or I can also bring things in. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do file, and we're going to import to the library, we'll say. And I'm going to import this because it's just my logo. Boom, there it is. Okay, so now I can use this. All right. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to drop it in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and scale this down by using the transform tool here. I'm going to hold shift so it stays proportionate. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have happen is have this guy kind of come in, and then I'm going to have the text drop in afterwards. Okay, so that should be fine. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple ways of doing this. I'm going to show you a real cheap, easy way to do some things. I don't suggest using these entirely, but if you want to, that's fine. Not a big fan of it, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna, so we can hand animate this, but there's also presets. So if you go to Window, you'll see this motion presets. So I select this, and I open this up, and you see it has all these little, let me see if I can expand this a little. Pull this up. Let's see. And, okay. It has all these little presets, okay? And if you click on them, they kind of show you what it does. So bounce out, bounce smush, which is really smushy, fly in left. So I can have this guy selected and click on this, and then I hit apply, and it's gonna turn it into a symbol. It's not a symbol right now, it's just an image. So a symbol is just like an object that you can do things to, and we'll hit OK, and you can see it already put it there. And now when I slide across, you can see the animations already in there. Okay, it already made all the pieces and stuff, which is great. If I enter, I can preview it. Okay, now you might be like, well, that's not the size I want, which is probably not. So what I'm going to do is I can select the actual animation here, switch to the transform here, and then you can actually, I'm going to hold shift. I can proportionately change the size of basically the path, and then I'm going to use this, and I'm going to move this over, and we'll have it go like this, and then you'll see that that changes the size of the path. I can even also do other things with it. So like, let's say I want it to be on a curve, so I could click on it. Oh, maybe because it's a preset. Oh, there you go. Okay, I can click on the curve and even adjust it myself if I wanted. I could add more keys in here if I wanted, but now you can see that's already in there. So there's a bunch of like these built-in ones. So if you do want to use these in some regard, that's fine. I don't generally suggest doing that, but they're in there. Okay. So with this one, we'll just leave it like it is. I'm just going to go ahead and use what they got, okay? So I'm looking at this, and I'm going to take this in general. I'm going to click on it first, and then drag it over here, because I'm just going to have it go this way. So it's, let me just see what that looks like. Enter. All right, so that's going to come in there. That's fine. I want it to take a little bit longer, so I'm just going to grab this and slide it this way. So, because we're running at 24 frames per second, so we'll say it takes a second and a half. So I'll go to 36, okay? So, like that. All right, and now, boom, that's what will happen. Okay, so there's one. Now what I'm going to do is make another layer. Boom. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it say, like, cone. All right? So, go ahead and make a single letter here, and I'm just going to click, and we'll just write, I'm just going to put a C in there. So let's see the settings here. I'm going to change my fill to, we'll just do black to make it simpler. I'm going to go to the properties panel here, exit out of that, and we're going to change the size. Let's try 72. That's probably fine, and I can change the font to something. We'll just, I don't really care what it is, I just need something. So I'm just going to write C for cone, okay? Boom, there's the thing I want to animate, all right? So again, I could use those motion presets. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to try and do it manually. And I'm just going to have this kind of come in, okay? So, right. So I got that. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I got to convert it to a symbol. So I'm just going to right click and do convert to symbol and just choose movie clip. That's fine. I'm going to take the registration point and put it on the base of it. And we'll hit OK. And you'll notice that it'll automatically be put into my library. You can see we have our two symbols here, okay? And basically, they're just things that have properties that we can reuse over and over again. All right, got this guy over here. So now what I'm going to do is just plop him in and animate it, okay? So, actually, before I do that, I'm going to convert this to, see how this is blue? There's two types of animation. There's the motion tween and classic tween. We're going to use motion tween because it allows us to have paths. So right now, this already has a starting key, and we're going to say it's right here. And all I'm going to do is have that go, and I'm just going to have it come down here. Okay, so I put my frame over here, and then I just put the next spot where I want it to go. And I'm just going to click and drag this way. All right, yay, something like that. And then I'm just going to click on the curve here and kind of curve it out. And I'm going to go like this, so it's a little more spaced out down here. I'm actually going to use my direct select tool and grab the Bezier handle here and make it more up and down. So it's going to go boom like that. All right. And if I were to play it, you'll see it slows in and comes out. Now that's kind of slow. So I'm going to take this end. And I'm just going to drag it and make it take half a second for that to happen. So good. Yeah. All right. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let's see, actually. Let's take this key. I'm going to, come on. I just want to, there you go. I'm going to grab this key, move it over. I'm going to stretch this out and make this last. We'll say it's going to take, actually, no, yeah, we'll just go like that. Okay. And then I'll take this key and put this back at 12. All right. So now it's going to come in, and this way it just holds to 120, okay? I'm going to do the same thing with this one, too. I'm going to pull this one back, and then I'm going to drag this so it goes to 120, because that's how long I want it to last. All right, and then we'll just put this back at 36. Okay. So, whoop, that's going to come in. Now, if you look, they're both having the same time. I want this one to be delayed, happen a little bit later. So all I'm going to do is just take this keyframe here, click off and back on, and I'm just going to drag it, and then we're going to say it happens like just after. So I'm going to have to go 48. I'm going to take this one, and we're going to copy the properties. So basically like copying it. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste that here. And then we're going to go paste properties. And that way, it's basically like a moving hold. I mean, it's a little bit of it's interpolating up there, but we're not going to see it anyway. This way, it'll go right down and then to it. Okay, so boom, good. So there's one. Now I just need to do my other letters. Okay, so we're just going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and make another layer. Okay, and this will have my next element in it. And so I'll do another letter here. All right, and this will do an O. Huzzah. And I'm going to right click and go ahead and convert it to a symbol so that I can make it on a motion path. And then I'm going to go ahead, this is what I should have done to begin with. I'm going to take this key and I'm going to have this one happen right after. So I'm actually, it's not even going to exist until that one's already come down. All right, so I just dragged it over here. So the frame doesn't even start till here. And right now it goes to the end. Then I'm going to right click and I'm just going to do create motion tween on that. And I'm just going to do the same thing. So here I'm going to have it out of play. And then I'm going to go 12 frames after. So we'll go to 60. And I'm going to plop it down in here. Boom. I'll grab this curve and we'll drag it up a little. So now it'll do this one, then this one. All right, and you can kind of see that's basically what I would do for the rest of them. Okay, so just animate one, then the other. And so then I would just do another layer. We'll just do this again just for the purposes of teaching. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll make another letter. So I guess it'll be an N. So we'll do an N. Boom. Okay, I'm going to take this and we are going to convert to a symbol. Boom. And I'll start up here. And I'm going to go ahead again and just take this and drag this up so it starts where the last one was, because I want them to be staggered. So I just clicked and dragged the key here. Then I'll go ahead and make this a motion tween. So create a motion tween. And then this should happen at 72. So I'm just going to, I already have the first keys at 60 because that's what I dragged it over. And we'll put one here. Boom. And then I'm just going to kind of adjust this curve. And there's a thing. Now, what I could do is start like that, and then maybe I want this one to be wobbly, so I'll go over here. You'll see it'll add a new key every time I move it wherever I am in space. So now it goes like this. Okay? And I can go through and basically affect this. So, like for instance, I could grab, and you can see there's the Bezier curve here, so I can adjust this one, and that's the path that it follows, which is cool. I don't think it lets me convert it though. Let me see. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. All right. So now I can use the convert tool to make it a straight, which is underneath the pen tool here. You can add. Oh, no, well, let me add. Okay, well, at least it lets me convert. That's the only one I really need. All right, and so basically now that one will follow this animation. Okay, so whoop. And I would just go right down the line. Okay. And if you just hit enter, well, we'll start it from the beginning here. You hit enter, and you'll see it play your animation. Okay? Now, and we'll do one more just to finish this off, just so it has the whole thing. So I'll just, oops, we gotta make another layer. And we'll just do this, and it's gonna be an E. Good. And I'm gonna convert that again to a symbol. Boom. It's probably a good idea to name it, but I'm not that concerned. Then I'm going to take this key here, and we're going to put it where the last one was. Right click in here, go ahead and do create motion tween. And then this should be at 84. So we'll take this and plop this guy down. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Just, I did an animation. Woo! Okay. And there we go. Okay. Now, if you want to preview it, like I said, you can hit enter, and that previews in here. But if you hit control enter, or you go to window, I forget what it says, Windows something, but it will actually play it in, it'll open up the window browser and actually play it. Now what you're going to notice is right off the bat, you can see it's automatically looping, which may or may not be something you want. In my case, actually, I don't want that. I want it to just happen and that be it. So to do that, I have to actually add some action script. So I'm just going to right click, and we're going to go ahead and, where are you? We'll click on here. Hang on a second. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer first to put my actions on. So I'm going to right click on anywhere on this new layer I just made. I'm going to right click and go actions. And that basically brings up this little panel. Okay. Now I don't expect you to be able to know how to code. But what you can do is if you click over here, see how it says code snippets? It's actually a window too, but you click on this, and what it'll do is that it has these little clips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to timeline navigation, because that's what I want to do, stop at this frame. So I'm just going to double click, and it's going to go ahead and put this in here. And what's going to happen is that wherever this was, it's going to stop it now. Okay? So it basically added a little bit of code that plays at this specific frame. So now if you watch, if I hit enter, actually it's not going to work here, sorry. The code doesn't work in real time. But if I hit control enter and preview, it should now stop. It's gonna stop like in the middle of it, okay? Because I put it right there. So that's not obviously where I wanted it. So I'm just gonna take this little A here, and I'm just gonna drag it to the end of the scene here. Okay, so now it'll stop at that frame. All right, and we'll exit out of that. Okay, so now we got this little animated banner. Now you obviously can make it look nicer than this. This is just a real basic thing. That looks acceptable. Okay, and then you would just save this. Okay. So I'll save it, but you're also going to want to probably publish it. But for now, just save it like this, and then well, I'll show you how to publish later. Because that way what you can do is actually put it inside of your web page, basically through publishing. Okay, so you'll see this publish settings, and then you just want to make sure you do an OAM package as well as just the normal thing. And basically, I forget what that stands for, but it allows you to insert it as like a file into your Dreamweaver project, which is nice. Okay, and that's it. So that's a basic animated banner. It's pretty simple. You can definitely do a lot cooler things than this. I just want to show you a real simple thing.